We wait for perfect AI to replace humans. We stay completely paralyzed by that grand illusion, beat. Meanwhile, agile teams are quietly taking over everything. They just let imperfect AI do the chores. Two sec silence. It's the ultimate irony of modern business today. Welcome to the deep dive. I'm really glad you're here with us. Today, we're exploring a deeply fascinating blueprint. It's Max Ann's successful AI project framework. This is the definitive March 2026 survival guide.
Yeah, we're going to completely dismantle the hiring versus AI debate and explore the mathematical beauty of, good enough.
We'll also look at live automated business pipelines, and we'll reveal the fatal mistakes that Sync projects.
It's a fundamentally different way to approach work. You really have to rewire your entire brain.
So let's start with a crucial mindset shift. To understand how to use AI effectively today, we first have to stop thinking about human job titles.
Right. Most companies fail right at the starting line. They sit down and ask a terrible question. They ask, can AI replace my senior copywriter?
Which is totally the wrong way to look at it.
Oh, totally the wrong question. A job title is just a fictional bundle. It's a bundle of dozens of tiny tasks. Trying to automate a whole role leads to panic. It causes complete operational paralysis in an office.
You can't just replace a broad human title. You can only replace specific, isolated daily tasks. Max Ann's 2026 framework introduces the task-based framework. It deliberately breaks jobs down into single actions.
Yeah, then you ask one highly specific focused question. Is AI good enough for this exact step today?
This leads to a very practical, actionable step. It's called the task audit.
I absolutely love the task audit exercise. It's incredibly revealing for any struggling business owner. You just pick one single department to start. Let's say you choose your internal content team. You list every single human action they take.
Then you literally score each individual micro step. Yes, no, or maybe for its AI readiness. Let's look at a real content team's workflow. Humans absolutely still need to record raw video. The human provides the original thought and charisma.
Exactly. That biological spark is incredibly hard to fake. But after that recording stops, the process shifts. AI tools like Whisper or Gemini step in. They transcribe the entire raw audio file instantly.
Then human video editors don't manually cut silence. Automated tools handle that tedious dead air instantly.
Right. And a copywriter doesn't draft social captions. Modern models like GPT 5.4 or Claude Sonnet do. They write dozens of platform-specific variations in seconds. Then tools like Zapier schedule the actual posts.
The human basically becomes the director, not the crew.
Yeah, it's like stacking Lego blocks of data. You break the big job into tiny plastic bricks. Then you rebuild the entire workflow brick by brick. You swap out the fragile human blocks for AI blocks.
Let me ask a practical question here. What if a workflow is already a tangled mess? Won't breaking it down just give us messy Lego blocks?
Oh, absolutely. Automating chaos just scales your errors much faster. You must manually clean the business process first. Figure out exactly how the data should logically move. Only then do you plug in the AI automation.
Clean the messy process first or automate chaos?
Precisely. And once you actually map these specific tasks out, you realize something quite profound about human labor.
Many tasks simply don't require human perfection. Two sec silence. That brings us to the new operational standard, the good enough standard of the 2026 landscape.
Right, because waiting for perfect AI is a massive risk. Agile teams don't wait for flawless androids. They look at a tool and ask a simple question. Is this good enough to use right now?
Speed to market is the ultimate defining edge. The defining metric is no longer pure, unadulterated quality. It's now entirely about your quality per dollar. We really have to look at the actual math here.
The baseline math is honestly staggering to consider. Let's look at a standard basic social media caption. An AI caption might only be 80% polished, but it costs your business exactly 1 single cent.
And it takes just 3 seconds to fully generate. Compare that to a human copywriter's daily effort. A human might take 20 full minutes for perfection.
Yeah, and that 20 minutes cost the company $25.
Yeah.
So 80% quality at 1 single cent versus 100% quality at 25 steep dollars. It's a mathematical winner for most business cases.
You simply can't ignore that level of extreme efficiency. Modern language models are basically indistinguishable from humans anyway. They handle 90% of repetitive writing flawlessly. But I do have to push back on this. Isn't settling for 80% polished a dangerous race? Doesn't that eventually destroy a premium brand's reputation?
Well, not if you structure the workflow properly. The 80% is just for the heavy lifting. The lean human layer adds the final strategic polish. You get the quality, but skip the grunt work. The AI writes the rough draft. The human makes it sing.
AI handles heavy lifting while humans add strategic polish.
Exactly. It's a powerful collaboration, not a sad compromise.
So we accept good enough for the heavy lifting. But what does this machinery look like in motion? Let's look at the actual live business pipelines.
The modern content engine is a beautiful thing. You sit down and record one long video. That is your only required manual input step. From there, the automated machinery completely takes over.
It's a totally seamless transition of digital labor. The AI automatically transcribes the entire video file first. Then it actively scans the text for high engagement hooks.
Right, it finds those moments and cuts short clips. It removes filler words and formats the video aspect ratio. Then it writes highly specific captions for different platforms. LinkedIn gets a somewhat serious professional tone. Instagram gets a much more casual, punchy tone.
Then it auto-publishes everything on a predetermined schedule. What's fascinating is the system learns over time. It analyzes exactly which hooks get the most engagement.
Yeah, it adapts future selections based on real-world data. But this isn't just for creative marketing content. Back-office operations use the exact same underlying logic. And those transformations are arguably even more lucrative.
Voice AI handles lead intake completely effortlessly. It talks to prospects and instantly updates the CRM.
It categorizes the caller's urgency without any human intervention. The B2B proposal drafting process is completely revolutionized too. AI pulls industry trends and budget data from the CRM. It drafts a customized proposal in just 15 minutes.
That exact same process used to take 2 solid hours.
Exactly. AI chatbots also handle all Tier 1 FAQ support tickets.
Yeah.
They answer routine questions about open invoices or timelines. Humans are left strictly for complex, nuanced decisions.
They handle the edge cases and the actual relationship building. But with all these different tools talking to each other, how does the business owner not get completely overwhelmed? It sounds incredibly complicated to maintain all this tech.
Well, they use integration platforms like Zapier as a simple bridge. You don't need to write any complex custom code. You just use basic logic to connect them together. These are essentially what we call agentic workflows.
How exactly would you define agentic workflows for our listeners?
AI systems autonomously linking actions together to achieve goals. They do the intelligent routing for you.
Simple logic bridges linking autonomous AI systems together seamlessly.
Spot on. It keeps the tech stack manageable and invisible.
We've talked extensively about automating text and data pipelines, but the most disruptive pipeline taking over is entirely different. It doesn't use a traditional screen or keyboard. Let's discuss the rapidly disappearing user interface.
This is the massive shift to conversational voice AI. It's completely rewiring the baseline customer experience. Tools like 11 Labs allow customers to call a standard number. They speak completely naturally to a highly responsive AI agent.
There are no wait times and no rigid numeric menus. The system actually understands nuanced, messy human context. It can book calendar calls or route to humans dynamically. Phone calls are still the highest converting touchpoint in business.
Whoa, imagine scaling to 1 billion queries. Just perfectly pleasant, instant voice responses for everyone globally. It's honestly mind-blowing to think about that volume. The AI never gets tired or annoyed by repetitive questions.
If your competitor's AI picks up the phone instantly, while you send your worn, eager leads to a voicemail, you will lose that business every single time.
Oh, 100%. The window to adopt this technology is right now. Building an AI voice agent is surprisingly easy today. You don't need a degree in computer science. The tools are highly accessible and often entirely free.
It just requires mapping the desired conversation flow properly. But does an AI voice agent actually make people feel heard? Or do customers just get frustrated they aren't talking to humans?
Speed and accuracy basically always win out in the end. Customers heavily prefer an instant, highly competent AI assistant. It's much better than waiting on hold forever.
Customers prefer instant, competent AI over waiting for humans.
Every single time. We value our limited time above absolutely everything else. Sponsor.
It all sounds a bit like futuristic science fiction. Business owners usually assume science fiction is highly expensive, but the actual cost math tells a very different story. That is, if you manage to avoid the hidden traps.
The cost math is probably the most compelling part. Setting up a basic workflow might cost $2,000. A highly complex agency build might hit $20,000. Your monthly API subscriptions run a few $100.
But look at what that initial investment actually replaces. It replaces mundane roles costing $4,000 to $15,000 monthly. The financial break-even point happens incredibly fast.
Usually you see a return in just 1 to 3 months. After that break-even point, your business fundamentally changes. Every automated step becomes pure, unadulterated margin expansion. You radically increase output with significantly fewer daily resources.
But we really have to look at the fatal mistakes. This is why AI projects actually fail in the early stages. The underlying technology usually works just fine. The human execution is where most companies stumble, beat. Over-engineering is an absolutely massive trap.
Right, people love to jump straight to complex custom software builds. They think they need proprietary coded software to win. But simple, easily connected tools usually work much better. You start simple and upgrade your stack only when necessary.
The second fatal mistake is skipping the human review layer. AI without a human check inevitably drifts over time. The machine output slowly becomes stale or robotic or off-brand to sex silence. I still wrestle with prompt drift myself.
Oh, it's a very real struggle.
You build a great prompt, and a few weeks later, the tone just subtly shifts. It drifts away from your core brand voice.
It happens to absolutely everyone who uses these tools. Language models are basically just giant statistical prediction engines. Without a rigid framework, they slowly regress to the mean. They start sounding like a generic corporate brochure.
Which is why the human review layer is completely non-negotiable. A quick weekly review keeps the system's quality stable. You have to maintain that critical human feedback loop. But if the ROI is this obvious and incredibly fast, why is anyone still hesitating to implement this today?
Well, it's almost entirely a deep psychological barrier for management. Leaders are deeply afraid of breaking their current functional systems. Their legacy systems are incredibly slow, but they technically function. They fear the messy transition period more than anything.
Leaders fear breaking their slow but functional legacy systems.
Yeah, change is terrifying, even when it's massively profitable.
So let's synthesize this entire deep dive for our listeners. The businesses winning in 2026 share a very specific philosophy. They aren't waiting around for flawless humanoid androids. They don't expect a glowing AI to sit at a desk.
They're actively breaking work down to the atomic task level. They map the tiny tasks before touching any software tools. They deploy highly affordable, good enough AI for repetitive steps.
And they fiercely maintain a lean, highly strategic human layer. Those expert humans sit at the top to guide everything. Speed to market decisively beats the grand illusion of perfection.
Your execution matters infinitely more than your specific tool choice. You have to clean your messy internal processes first. Then you let the automation scale your newfound efficiency.
It's a profound shift in how we fundamentally structure work. Thank you for taking this deep dive with us today. Before we go, I want to leave you with this thought. We started by talking about waiting for perfect AI. But consider the reality of a totally leveled playing field if every single company on Earth eventually has access to the exact same 3-second, 1-cent AI to generate them creative content and politely answer their ringing phones. Beat what becomes the ultimate irreplaceable premium commodity in modern business, out tarot music.